Harvard Business Review reports that a staggering 95% of company employees are unaware of or do not understand their company's strategy. That's a statistic that I think is completely reversible. Here's an example. I'm working with a nonprofit, 35 people, fully committed professionals, focused like lasers on their mission's tasks. We're doing some strategic work. We find that their overall mission does not have a clear purpose or why. I presumed they all knew their organizational purpose. However, I didn't experiment. I handed everyone a 3x5 card and asked them to write their why for the organization. I got 35 different answers. I thought, this organization's focus is like a disco ball with lasers ricocheting off it in every which way. I call it the disco ball of despair, T. But we started using strategic planning and execution processes, and we were actually able to effectively remove the disco ball of despair, T, and then integrate all of the lasers of those professionals into one intense beam focused on purposeful, achievable outcomes. A simple way to think about strategic planning is to consider a GPS. GPS just needs three things. First, you plug in your destination. In strategic planning, we call that ends. Then it gives you the blue arrow, your route. In strategic planning, we call that ways. And then it tells you how much time, what resources will be required to get there. We call that in strategic planning means. Ends, ways, means. In 2013, I was tasked to go to NATO headquarters in Belgium, Brussels, and talk about the coalition in Afghanistan and what we needed. After landing in Belgium, I rented a car and was offered a GPS. It's $100 a day. And I thought, I really don't have time to get this GPS. That's a lot of money for a GPS, but I don't have a GPS and I've never been in Belgium before. So I reluctantly acquiesced, checked the block, get in my car, turn on the GPS, it starts telling me where to go. I'm 100 meters outside the parking lot of that airport, and I thought to myself, that was the best decision I've ever made. If I didn't get that GPS to navigate through Brussels, Belgium, I'd still be navigating through Flanders to this day. Strategic plans are like GPSs for organizations. A key to success of strategic planning is collaboration as much as possible and reviewing the plan at every level so that everybody gets it. Here's a personal example. In 2009, I'm flying from the stateside to Baghdad, Iraq to finish the second half of a year-long deployment. I'm the chief of plans for then General Odierno, who's the 4-star commander for all of Iraq. He had just received a phone call from newly inaugurated President Obama. The president had directed him to begin planning for the drawdown of forces from Iraq. Technically, this is considered a withdrawal under contact, the most challenging military operation to plan and execute. This plan would require the reduction of the coalition from 300,000 soldiers and civilians to 50,000, going from 500 bases to 30, and removing approximately 3.5 million pieces of equipment from an active combat zone. As Chief of Plans, I would normally assign a lead planning effort to one of our planners, who would in turn lead the entire effort. As we began planning, it quickly became apparent that this plan was going to be different. Instead of one planner leading this planning effort, the drawdown effort would require the full-time effort of our entire plan shop. Over 24 skilled planners working with over 100 planners from across Iraq converged in Baghdad daily for 6 months. And in this case, lead planner responsibility fell to me. And at the end of the execution of this operation, the Secretary of Defense commented that we had not lost a single soldier or civilian. I became completely convinced about the significance, the importance, and the success achievable through efficient and effective strategic planning and execution.